to my channel. In this series, we are discussing about the probability theory. Now here we are going to be having a brief discussion about the definitions of the probability. In general, we know the probability is defined as the chance of occurrence of an event. But this is not sufficient in mathematical model. So that's why we are giving the definition of the probability in the three ways. The first one is classical definition. Second one is relative frequency definition. And third one is the definition using axiomatic. Let's move one by one. Initially we go for the classical definition. In the classical definition, if the events are equally likely, then the probability is defined using the classical definition as a number of times the required event A has appeared in the total number of sample space. Let's consider I have performed an experiment for n number of times. Then I have to count how many number of times the event A had occurred. So we go for an example over here. If a dice is rolled, the probability of getting 2 on its face is 1 by 6. Over here, the total sample space length is the 6. The 2 has occurred for one time, so the value is the 1 by 6. And here we come to know that the classical definition is valid for equally likely events only. Then come to the limitations. In the definition we used equally likely, but the sample space won't have equally likely events. So it means it is not going to be possible in some cases. The representation of happening of the event is going to be equally likely. So it is not possible to apply the corresponding unequal components by using the classical definition. For example, is it possible to get the same amount of rain in every season of monsoon? So it is not going to be happen. So we are not able to give the definition, means we are not able to predict by using the classical definition. So the equally likely content can't happen in every situation. So that is one of the major limitations we are going to be facing over here. So to overcome this one, we are going for the relative frequency definition. In the relative frequency, the experiment is performed n number of times and observe that event A, that the event A has occurred for n of A times. In general, the probability is nothing but the probability of A is equal to P of n of A by n. But here, instead of performing the experiment for the finite number of times, we have to perform the experiment for the infinite number of times. Here, limit n tends to infinity, n of A by n. And then come to the properties of the relative frequency. Based on this one, the corresponding probability is going to be limited in between the 0 to the 1. Why? Because if no event has occurred in total n number of samples, then the value is going to be 0. In total n number of samples, the only event A has occurred, then the probability is going to be 1. And P of A is equal to 1 if all times we get our required event, as we have already discussed in the property 1 itself. Come to the limitations of the relative frequency. Conducting the experiment for the infinite number of times in the same condition is one of the major challenge we are going to be facing over here. Example, the probability of rain today can't really be obtained by the relative frequency definition, since day can't be repeat again. One day can't be repeat for infinite number of times. We go for to overcome the corresponding limitations. We are going to move towards the axiomatic definition. In the axiomatic definition, we are going to be having the three representation. The first one, the probability of any event is non-negative. The second one, probability of the total sample space is going to be unity. And the third axiom, if in a sample space S there are two events A, B, and both are going to be mutually exclusive, then we can write A union B equal to probability of A. Then we can write probability of A union B equal to probability of A plus probability of B. We further extend this to the n number of samples, as an is going to be having the a1, a2, a3 and so on, an number of sample means events, and they are going to be mutually exclusive. Then the probability of union of all the a1, a2, a3 can be written in the form of probability of a1 plus probability of a2 plus probability of a3 and so on, probability of an. We further modify this one as probability of union of all the components from the n is equal to 1 to n can be written in the form of the sum is going to be taken over here. So we are performing the sum of the corresponding individual probability components. So sum of n is equal to 1 to n probability of an. Thank you. For more videos, subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thank you.